Hey guys, my name's Duro and thanks for taking time out of your day to come watch another one of my videos. Today, we're going to be looking at the plane that is on screen, not the plane that is being shot at, the plane that I'm flying, the F-84G-21-RE. This is probably, in my opinion, one of the best jets that you could use to start your early jet transition or your transition from early jets into props. The name of the game for early jets is speed, and this thing definitely teaches you how to hold on to it. I'm showing you the modifications that I had at the very start of this recording on the screen. Those are all the modifications that I had unlocked for it before starting to record this footage. At the end, you'll see at some point in one of the videos, or in one of the games rather, I will have spaded it. Um, in a second too, you're about to see the statistics that I had for this plane before I started recording. It is a bit of a menace. 0 kills, 20 air kills. Obviously, that has changed since then due to unforeseen circumstances, bad teammates, blah, 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 blah. So, the F-84, what is it? Well, it's also known as the Thunderjet. So, if anyone ever asks you about, the Thunderjet, you now know that it is this plane. As I said before, you want to stay fast. Speed is this thing's saving grace. And you will see me full send after some people, but that's only because I know or I'm looking around the battlefield to make sure that there are no enemies that can capitalize on the fact that I am slow. Because once I am slow, and if there are enemies that are faster than me, they will gun me down. Now, this thing's performance is good enough to turn fight a few planes, as you will see later on in the video, but I would not be reliant on counting on it. This thing is definitely a good plane for anybody who wants to practice staying fast, which you should if you are looking to play early jets. If we're talking about it in regards to the video, the ARB tips and tricks video that I put out quite some time ago now, actually, um, this plane kind of focuses more on target prioritization. You know that this plane is fast. You know that this plane has a pretty decent set of guns, being I don't remember if it was 4 or 6. I think it was 4 actually. 4 M3 Brownings in the nose, making it pretty easy to hose things down. But you can see in the background, I am just using my speed, zoom around the battlefield, turn the speed into energy if that's something that, I really want to do. Running energy traps, booming in, shooting people up, and flying away just as quickly as I came in. And I will be showing you guys more of this later on in the games as I narrate it. But you can see in the background, I have plenty of speed, just pitching it up, energy trapping planes like this poor F3D1 down here, dropping the flaps, pitching straight back down because we have more than enough speed to do so, sitting 100%. And by the time we get to him, we're going 550. To say this thing loves speed is a little bit of an understatement. Now, this is definitely not the only F-84 in game. You have the same F-84 for the US. There's one in Japan, obviously, the one that I'm playing, the Taiwan. There's one in China. There's one in Italy. And there's F-84B in the US, which the only difference is it is a little bit slower. Still plays exactly the same way, though. You want that speed. You want to boom in. You want to boom out. You want to do as much damage as you can because, I mean, just look at the closure in this clip right here. We're closing on the J29 so quickly here. We're just retaining that speed, hosing him down. He's dodging and weaving. Pitch up. He's going, I don't know why he's going for air targets, but we caught him with absolutely no troubles at all. And we just leave. That's what you'll be doing to the majority of opponents that you face. This thing is not a dogfighter. Do not try to put it in a dogfighting position. You will run out of speed very quickly. And well, maybe not every time because, different situations, but most of the time when you run out of speed, you'll find that you are, a fish out of water. There's not much you can do except kind of just flop around everywhere. And that'll leave more maneuverable planes like the F-86 in up tiers, the F-80 in down tiers, Meteors. They will just come and clean you up. Speed management is key. Booming and zooming, knowing how to aim the M3s, which shouldn't be a problem. They love setting fires and they know how to cripple damage. That's the overview of the plane though, so let's go into some gameplay narration. For this first clip here, it's not a whole game. It is a dogfight, contrary to what I literally just said. But it is a 2v1 dogfight that I wanted to show off. But the only reason that I want to show this off is because I want to show how you can use this immense amount of speed that the F-84 has to dogfight two different planes. And they will show up here in a second. This is not an ideal dogfight. I would not recommend trying this at home. We have an F-80 that shows up. I'm watching him to see if he pitches up. I'm turning around, trying to see if I can bait him into the energy trap, but he doesn't really seem like he wants to take it, so that's okay. We're flying around, checking to see if the other planes around us. I know that not all of the fighters on the enemy team have made it to the battlefield yet. Still looking, still looking. There it is. F-86F. Now, this thing's 7.7, so it could be the F-86F2. I really want to watch him for that. Either way, though, he will catch me in the long run. He outperforms me in a lot of regards, but not in this clip, as you will see pretty soon enough. We're just looking around. There's a vampire that shows up. This F-86 is making it pretty clear that he definitely wants me. He's turning in. I'm turning in too. Turned in with the intention to go head on, but I decided at the last second he's going to spray me. He's going to completely miss, although it did actually scare me a little bit. And we're just going to turn after him. We see that the vampire is breaking away, so there's no worry about the vampire turning in, which would be pretty bad, but he had way too much speed going into that, which means he's going to take ages to turn around. We were going significantly slower, meaning we were able to complete more of our circle, and now we're just going to cut into our loop, or into his loop, sorry, because he has way too much speed. He is losing speed though. Now, I don't know if he's air braking, but I'm dropping the combat flaps, and I'm dropping the throttle slightly just to cement that position. And now I'm just going to float on behind him, but you have to predict where he's going. Constantly trying to predict the turning circle that he's in. He will be making mistakes here though, including turning back in, which will give me a shot. Only hit his wingtip. Not that bad, but we have the circle. And he is continuously trying to turn fight me, which is probably not the best idea, considering that I'm now sitting at 100% throttle. If he puts it into the rate fight, though, he should be able to continue out-turning me. I'm dropping the flaps. Do not try this kind of dogfight in the middle of the map. The only reason I did it is because I thought I was alone on this side, and this is a pretty decent dogfight. Something that I couldn't get put in the footage, but we predict where he's going again. We severely damage him, and the F9F shows up. We're going to put it straight. Going to head straight towards him. If I turned after him, I would have been dead. Going to pitch in for the head-on. I don't know where those rounds went. They probably went over his head. That Saber stalled himself out. That F9F is turning underneath me. He's going to have to do a complete 360-degree turn to get on my 6. I'm not worried about his energy. We're going to give the Saber some more hits. We set him on fire. He's out of the match. And now we're just focusing wholly and solely on the F9F. Now, it is the almost Delta Wing variant with the AIM-9Bs. He's pitching down. He's going to have heaps of AOA, especially after getting some speeds. We're just going to keep going. We're going to keep putting it up in the circle. We're going to try and roll, try and make that shot as hard for him as we possibly can. And we're just going to keep turning. Put the flaps up. Put the flaps, thank you, so we can get our speed back. And we're just going to run away because he's bled too much speed. However, he straightens out. That which gives us an opportunity to get a lot of position. So we wing over and we turn straight after him, and we are going to catch him because of how much speed he's lost. Now he's going to turn around too because he's going to see me turning around. But I still have quite a decent amount of speed. I'm going to spray in the head-on, see if I can try and deter him. I know he's going to commit to the head-on though, considering that he did last time. And because he turned around yet again, he does not have the speed to pull after me, whereas I have the speed to pull after him because I managed to get it back. Going to spray at him, get some hits, get a crit on his wingtip, and he goes into the flat spin. That is GG's for the 2v1. He's going to crash here in a little bit. That is how speed management plays in the dogfight. Will this happen all the time? Absolutely not. But I thought it would be worth showing, given that it is a good opportunity to put the essence of speed in and energy into a dogfight. Do not try this at home. 9 times out of 10, well, not super often, but it definitely won't work. But yeah. Next match. F9F, stalling himself out yet again. Seems to be a common theme for this video. It's even the same variant. We crit him. He's not going to do super well. He's going to bail out in a second here. He probably went into a flat spin or something. Yeah, there he goes. Aircraft destroyed. LA-200, F-80 in front of us, and we're kind of just, we'd be in the middle of the furball if we were at a decent height. Well, at their height, but we are at a decent height, so we're not having to worry about that. F-86F on the horizon, I think. Again, I'm wary that it's an F-Saber, because if it's a full up tier, it could very well be an F-Saber. But I'm going to go head on with him, spray a little bit, dodge the head on. He dodges my head on, and I'm just going to keep going straight. Nothing else really to see there, but we just flew around the map for a bit, and we've just kind of positioned ourselves above all these other people. F-80, he's pitching up, he's stalling himself out. Should be a pretty easy shot, supposing that I hit it. I crit him. He's got quite a little bit of damage here. I'm just going to keep going. I've got 950 kilometers an hour on my plane. I'm just going to keep continuing onwards. There is A4B. He's probably going to pull right in front. Our teammate's going to miss the shot, so we're going to try, but it's just a little bit too much compression. He's going to pitch up after me too. We're going to use our speed. Look at how quickly I'm running away from him, but here comes the F-Saber. It's an F-25. Not the same Saber that I reviewed in my last video, but it's still a Saber nonetheless. It's the one in the folder after the F-86A5, I think. We have so much speed. He's definitely catching us nonetheless. We're going to roll around his guns, pray that he doesn't hit a shot. He hits our wingtip, but that's okay. He's going way too fast, and we're going to hit a beautiful reversal on this F-86 F5, or F-25, sorry, and we're just going to put it into a rolling scissors. Not ideal to do against an F-25 Saber, or any Saber for that matter, but he just keeps turning into the opposite direction. He keeps reversing his turn. Now, I had some poor aim there, but I am behind him, and I can keep up with him for quite some time. So I'm just going to keep spraying at him. We get a crit. He's going to have damage. His flight performance is going to be drastically reduced, and we're just going to send it. I think he decides to try and turn that way to run towards his teammate and straighten himself out. Now, I'm going to have some horrible aim. Just bear with me 1 second. As he's rolling around my shot, like, guys, please, I promise. But just hit him, bro. Thank you. Okay. F-86, F-25 goes down, and we're going to continue on to the IL-28, but we're never going to catch him. He's going way too quick. We do not have all of our speed back. That's completely fine. Heading over this side of the map towards their airfield to see what we can clean up, but this F-86, this other Chinese F-86F has just got him dead to rights. So we take our speed, we put it back into altitude, and here comes an LA-200. Turning in, we're going to dive down a little bit. We're going to pitch up over his guns and turn in his direction. He's going to go straight up. This guy has more energy in his engines than what I do in mine, and he went into the fight with more energy. I had to turn after him. He did not. He has to continue straight. I'm going to be picking my speed up again, but I'll only have speed for 1 or 2 turns. He will have speed for more than that, and his engines will allow him to compensate for the energy he's lost. I can see him pitching up. I'm going to pitch up after him, purely for the reason so he does not get position on my 6. We almost get the shot here too, but it's just, if I had pulled a little bit earlier, maybe I could have gotten it, but that cost me a lot of energy, and so now I'm going to have to dive to get that back, because he is just going to run away. I mean, you can see the speed difference here, right? Look at how quickly he's running away from me. But instead, I'm just going to chase him. He's just going to keep running. He's going to get altitude, and we are just going to be diving. We're already at 700 kilometers an hour again. We're in a lot better energy state than what we were at the start of the fight. Let's put it this way. But there is a friendly G91 that is attacking the IL-28. LA-200 obviously sees a kill that he thinks is achievable. We're just going to follow him, because as soon as he dives, we should be able to capitalize on that. But this G91 sees him coming, dives underneath him. LA-200 looks real hungry or really thirsty. There he goes in the water. And knowing now that the LA200's thirst is well and truly quenched, we go back to the airfield and we go head on with this A4B, who's the last guy in the match. Absolutely dome him with the M3s, don't get a single scratch. And we just put it into the climb and fly away with pink smoke and 3 kills under our belt. Final game. Now, I do die in this game, but there are some pretty important things here that we should be seeing. This is another thing that I was talking about, using our speed to close down on guys that have stalled out in front of you. We severely damaged this attacker. He has no chance. He's going to be dead here in a second. I have another plane pitching up. It's an F-2H-2, really early jet, decent engines, nowhere near enough speed to follow me though. I'm just going to put it back up into a climb and I'm going to run away. This MiG-15 is going to spend way too much time dogfighting this guy. He's going to play it way too cautiously, but I think that he has it, so I'm just going to leave him because he is the better plane. And honestly, if a MiG-15 dies to an F-2H in a dogfight, that is just quite simply mind-blowingly unreal. But anyway, that is not what ends up happening. No use focusing on something that doesn't happen. We see these guys below us. We're going to dive. We're going to zero throttle so we don't pick up excess speed, trying not to compress as much as we can. This F9F is flying out in front. We're going to pull ahead of him. We're going to get a nice crit on the wingtip. He's going to damage. You saw the immediate kind of response that his plane had to that. Really kind of just tips over instantly. He's not going to be doing it too well because of that. And we just have so much speed that we're just going to run away. I didn't quite know it at the time, but there were actually teammates of mine off to the left that are dogfighting. So I'm wondering why these enemy players are peeling off towards the left. And here they are, friendlies. And this is kind of what irritates me because got an F-84 that doesn't know how to keep his speed in the background. He's being chased by 2 F-80s. And there we go. He just dies. Actually, no, that was the one that was heading towards the head-on. He head-on F-86, lost the head-on. Now, the other one that didn't know how to keep his speed decided to go into the furball while being chased by the F-80s, and he also died. And so now I'm the only one. And if I were to dive into this blob, it would be a 6-on-1. And I know that I definitely cannot take 6 planes at once. So what am I going to do? I'm going to put it up into the vertical. Not completely, but we're going to try and bait this guy into stalling out. He takes it hook, line, and sinker. He just does not have the nose authority to pitch up on over him. And we are going to drop the combat flaps. We're going to bring our nose down because we have all the speed in the world for it. We're going to line up the shot. And we're just going to give him a crit because we can't pull hard enough, but luckily fast, he puts it into a flat spin. And we're just going to keep flying away. That's kill number 2 or not, because he actually ends up recovering it, which I think I said out loud. Yeah, nice recovery, because that was one hell of a flat spin, and I can safely say that I've never recovered from a flat spin in F9F before. Another teammate comes in, immediately gets cleaned up. I don't know what happened. This is a bit of a free game. We definitely would have won this if our teammates were a little bit smarter about what they did, but this was last night, over 12 hours ago. I'm not angry about it anymore. So, but here I am, ahead of or above the majority of the enemy team. I'm looking around. I want to try and get rid of an F-86. He is circling below me. You can see the contrails of his wingtips. If you look really closely at the screen, I'm watching him. I want to see what he does. Trying to see if he'll come up into the energy trap. But I'm just going to keep circling around. I have the speed here. I'm not losing speed too quickly. I have the altitude here to get the speed back relatively quickly. Enough speed to complete a turn if he pitches up, and enough altitude here to get the speed back if I need to. But I'm going to drop the combat flaps. I feel like I've gotten a decent enough angle on him. He's going to try to run away here, but because he's been turning so much, he just does not have the speed to do that. So I'm diving. We're already at 600 kilometers an hour. Not, yeah. Now we're at 600 kilometers an hour. Spray an awful lot. Not a lot of trigger discipline there, but we get a good crit on him. And we're going to turn it after him because that is a saber with a crit wingtip. He's going to turn back into the direction of my guns. Why he does that, I have absolutely no idea, but we land some hits on his other wingtips. So now both of his wingtips are pretty much damaged. and he doesn't have the speed or the aerodynamics, I guess, to pitch up for me anymore because of all the bullet holes in his wings. So we're just going to go up and over. We're going to put ourselves on his 6 pretty solidly, and we're just going to hose him down. F-86 out of the match, so going 700, and we're just going to keep climbing because we know that the enemies have gone back to the airfield. I hope it's pretty clear just how much this F-84 relies on speed. Not every game is going to turn out to be the same, but if you want to have the most optimal experience, I guess, the best chance of doing what you need to do in the F-84, it's pretty clear that you need to stay fast. Anyway, I feel really bad. This F9F was just taking off of the runway. We literally Freddy Fazbear him. He spontaneously explodes because we shoot out his bomb. That's the thumbnail right there. And we're just going to keep going on and away. To the final clip. This is the clip that kind of cost me my match, but I think we won in the end. I was flying around for a little bit. I saw both of them flying, I guess, because that's exactly what planes do. We zero throttle. We try to sneak up on them, but they both notice me at the last second. Pretty aware. We severely damaged this Saber. Now, I don't know what I severely damaged. I haven't actually looked in the replay for it, but I would really like to know what exactly I damaged on him. Now, I made a really wrong choice here. I turned back in while there are 2 planes. They still have quite a decent amount of energy. And I also went for the one that's severely damaged because now this F9F is on my 6. Now, I could have run away right here. I absolutely could have. But I turned back in because the Saber is severely damaged. And I'm thinking that I'll be able to do something to this F9F. But my packet loss had other ideas and kind of shifted me downwards vertically. Also notice in the top left corner of your screen that my fuel is running really, really low. Now, if this was any other dogfight, I would have had this F9F dead to rights. But you can see the Saber coming in the background, and we all know what's going to happen next. So, my final thoughts on the F-84G-21-RE. Is it beginner friendly? Yep, I'd say it is. Is it fun to play? Yes, it also pretty much is. Does it help you learn what you need to learn? Yes, but you need to make sure that it's like a constant effort. You need to be able to know to say, hey, I don't have enough speed, I need to leave, or you need to know when to be able to turn back. So this thing will definitely help you learn it, but it will not do it for you, if that makes sense. You can't expect to send it after every plane that you see. Sometimes you actually have to run away. And this plane is very good at helping you run away. So if you are trying to learn how to use speed and how to capitalize on speed, this is the way to do it. The other F-84s in the trees, you have the ones in the US. There's the one in Japan that I just played. There's one here in China that I'm researching, one for Italy, and one for France right here. Just take what I said from today, though, and keep using that advice for the rest of these. It's not bad. It's not bad. For me, at least, it was really enjoyable. Maybe that's because I already have kind of the basics for jets down pat. Well, I think I do. I still know I have a lot to learn in terms of jets. But if you feel like you're dying all the time, I would suggest either looking at what you're doing wrong, or maybe just accepting that there are some things that are out of your control. You can't help if your teammates are dying. You can't help if, your internet goes horrible and you start transformering all over the battlefield, like what you saw, in the footage just before with me shifting downwards. Other than that, though, it is pretty decent. If you're experienced for Japan, I would say also pick the Kika. The Kika is also really good. I haven't done a review on that. I might do it at some point, but there are other planes that I have reviews kind of on the list that I have geared up as a review. So you can expect those coming out at some point. University is still bearing down on me though, so please also continue to bear with me as I try to work through that. Not long left for this semester though. I should be able to start getting more into videos and streams pretty regularly again soon. But I hope you enjoyed today's video. Leave a comment if there are other planes that you want to see reviewed, and I will put that on the list and try to get to it when I can get to it. But other than that, I will see you guys in the next video.